true personal growth ultimately will lead to fulfillment. And it's my intention with these podcasts to connect more deeply with you. Thank you for joining me and Corbin and my guests, and welcome to this episode. Today I want to speak about something that I believe is one of the defining moral issues of our time, and it isn't easy to talk about. It's not comfortable, but I think it's necessary because on the 17th of June here in the UK, Parliament passed a vote, 379 to 137, to decriminalise abortion at any stage of pregnancy. Yes, abortion is to be permitted right up to birth. No legal protection will remain for unborn children, no matter how developed, no matter how viable outside of the womb. And what strikes me as almost as shocking as the vote itself is how quietly this happened. Where were the headlines? I've seen so many recently about this assisted dying bill, which is really assisted suicide, as yet another of those debates will be held. But where was the national debate? Where was the outcry about abortion right up to term? Where were the petitions in our inboxes urging us to contact our MPs or to speak for those who have no voice? For me, it happened almost in silence. And in that silence, I truly believe we have crossed a line that should be unthinkable. I want to step back because before we can understand what we've lost, we need to remember what we once knew. And I'm going to read an article published on June the 18th, just yesterday, by Laura Aberley on her Telegram channel. Laura publishes all sorts of information, mainly current affairs, and it's so balanced, it's so interesting. I really recommend her Telegram channel. This is how the article reads. When I feel things in this world don't make sense, I like to go back to the things that are real and wonderful and meaningful, the things that make life magical. And this is magical to me. This is Laura speaking, not me. And she's talking about pregnancy. When pregnant, the cells of the baby migrate into the mother's bloodstream and then circle back to the baby, and this is called fetal-maternal microchimerism. For up to 41 weeks, the cells circulate and merge backwards and forwards. After the baby is born, naturally, many of these cells will stay in the mother's body, leaving a permanent imprint in the mother's tissues, bones, brain and skin, and often stay there for decades. Every single child that a mother has afterwards will leave a similar imprint on her body as well. Even if a pregnancy doesn't go to full term, or if the mother has an abortion or miscarriage, these cells have still migrated into her bloodstream. And research has shown that if a mother's heart is injured, then the fetal cells will rush to the site of the injury and change into different types of cells that specialize in mending the heart. The baby helps repair the mother, regardless of where the damage is, and the mother, at the same time, is building the baby. This transfer of cellular information is often why certain illnesses vanish while pregnant. For example, rheumatoid arthritis often goes into nearly complete remission while the mother is pregnant. It's incredible how mothers' bodies protect the baby at all costs, and the baby at the same time is protecting and rebuilding the mother in exchange, so that the baby can develop safely and survive. Studies have found cells from a fetus in a mother's brain 18 years after she gave birth. So if you're a mum, you know how you can intuitively feel your child even when they're not there. Well, now we have the scientific proof that mums carry them for years and years, even after birth has been given. I find this so very beautiful, and that's the end of Laura Aberley's reflections. So, the mother-baby connection is a partnership. It's a sacred exchange. It is not a metaphor. It's a science. And now, here we are in the UK, a society proposing to permit ending that new life, that bond, at any stage. No other vulnerable group would be treated like this. Abortion has been legal in the UK since the 1970s, with NHS doctors often forced to perform this act even against their consciences, whilst no such laws have been proposed for the elderly or the disabled or the sick, but because the unborn are silent and invisible, then we think we have the right to declare them as disposable. And behind this there is power. Remember depopulation. And there is profit. Consider Planned Parenthood, which is a huge business in the United States. In 2019 to 2020, Planned Parenthood reported $1.6 billion in income, over $2 billion in net assets, nearly 355,000 abortions in that 1 year, and more than 3.3 million abortions in a decade. Well, 60 million abortions have been committed since the Roe v. Wade case at the end of the 60s. And in 2019 to 2020, abortions made up 96% of Planned Parenthood's so-called pregnancy resolution services. Adoption referrals, prenatal care, miscarriage support, those things all taken together accounted for just 2% of that outfit's services. This is not compassion. It is most certainly not choice. It's a business, and it's a very lucrative business. And it gets worse. Investigations have revealed that in some cases, the aborted baby parts are sold, even ordered in advance. One baby's brain can be worth as much as $3,340. An arm or a leg, $890 each. What on earth are they doing with these limbs? And if you think that, oh, this is normal, this is just how things are, well, haven't they done their job well? They want us in a state of apathy, of numbness. They want us to stop questioning and to stop feeling. How did we get here? Well, we got here through language, partly, through slogans like pro-choice, which is warm and cosy and reasonable sounding. And the media, it sanitizes murder, presenting abortion as a neat and compassionate. Oh, and it's a private matter, of course. And our culture has been taught to look away and to focus on convenience over conscience. But I believe perhaps it's not too late. There is time. There is time to wake up. There's time to reclaim what is sacred and time to remember that compassion doesn't destroy life. It protects it and it uplifts it. So what can we do? We can speak. We can break the silence that allowed this vote to pass with so little scrutiny. We can educate about what abortion really is and what it costs, not only to the baby, but to the mother and to all of us as a society. We can support real alternatives, support women in crisis, support adoption, which used to be a solution for childless couples, and we can support community solutions that honour life at every stage. We can pray, we can advocate, and above all, we can choose not to look away. If you're still with me, consider this. Every unborn child leaves a mark on their mother, on their family, and on the world. Their cells remain. Their presence, their potential, even when lost, echoes. A law may erase their legal rights, but it can never erase their humanity. If we want to be a society that celebrates progress, let's also be one that remembers the sacred. We could still be the generation that chooses conscience over convenience, truth over comfort, life over death. The future depends on it. We can measure life by weeks and by trimesters. We can debate laws and limits. We can pass votes in quiet chambers and call it progress. But deep down, don't we all know that life is not ours to take? And worth is not something we assign, it's something we recognise. Every unborn child is not just potential. They are already part of the great human family, already woven into the fabric of their mother's body and their father's hopes and, importantly, their community's future. If we lose sight of that, if we lose sight of the sacred, then we lose ourselves. So the question is no longer, can we? The question is, will we choose what is right? Let's be the ones who see, the ones who speak, who stand, who make a difference, who choose life for love and for the voiceless, because that is where our true humanity lives. You can set yourself up to win at the game of life. Become familiar with the laws of the universe. You have infinite potential. You can influence reality. Quantum growth and connection explores success strategies, power principles, relationship rescue, and the quantum field.